Alright, against the odds time. Looking to go Mirror Infinite and beyond in modern. We'll keep Mana Confluence, Lotus Bloom, and Sleight of Hand. Alright, so we will Hallowed Fountain tapped, pass turn. Lotus Bloom ticking down. I'm expecting our opponent's gonna combo off pretty quickly. Blue to Delta, cracks it. And Prism. Yikes. Opponent has a fast hand. Oh, there's our Mirror Turbine. Well, let's Silver Mirror. Pass the turn. Problem is our opponent has what looks to be pretty close to the nut draw for Ad Nauseum. Wouldn't be surprised if it's a turn 4 kill. There's Temple. Well, what's our opponent doing? Phyrexian on life. Yep, we are very likely dead next turn. Well, play the Palladium Mirror. Pass the turn. Here's Lotus Bloom. Opponent cracks it for black, which likely means Ad Nauseum. And yep, there's Ad Nauseum. Alright, good draw, good draw. We were not quite fast enough. Let's bring in negates. Let's go negate, dispel, cryptic. Go down a Padeem, a Mirror Turbine, and a Muddle the Mixture, and one random mirror. How about an Iron Mirror? Try it like that. Well, this hand can go infinite-ish. Doesn't really have too much disruption or a way to finish the game. So Flooded Strand, go. Flooded Strand for our opponent. Lotus Bloom, suspended. Cracks Flooded Strand. Gets Watery Grave, untapped. And Serum Visions. Well, let's crack Flooded Strand. Grab a Hallowed Fountain. Tapped. Opponent passes. Well, Flooded Strand, crack it. Just trying to get lands out of our deck. Grab an island. Play a Iron Mirror. Pass turn. Lotus Bloom's ticking down. Gets a Dreadship Reef. And opponent decides to pass. Another Muddle. Well, let's play Glacial Fortress. Play Palladium Mirror. Get in with Iron Mirror. Opponent gets a counter. Alright, pass turn. Opponent cracks Flooded Strand. One interesting option here would be to Muddle for Negate and put Negate on Scepter to try to slow down our opponent. And then hope that we can set up the combo in the future. I guess it depends on what we draw. Opponent passes. We just draw a mirror. Well, let's play Glacial Fortress. Transmute Muddle. So we can go infinite with mana, but I don't think that really saves us here. So I think we just take Negate, play Scepter, put the Negate on the Scepter, and pass turn. Hope that this can keep us alive. Gonna let the Lotus Bloom resolve, because our opponent already has the mana most likely they need to combo off. So I think we're better off trying to counter a combo piece. Pact of Negation ruins all of our plans. And eventually we can muddle for another Scepter if we draw our combo pieces or whatever we need. Opponent Echoing Truce, our Scepter. That's fun. And passes. We draw a land. Well, maybe we go beatdowns. Let's play Silver Mirror. Hallowed Fountain, untapped. Go attacking. Maybe we can get there with mirror damage backed by Muddle. I'm a little worried to try to transmute Muddle because that would give our opponent a window to combo off and kill us. Because they have the mana to go off at instant speed. Opponent's down to 10. Plays another Prism. So they get all the mana they'll ever need. And casts the Simian Spirit Guide. Okay. Well, let's transmute a Muddle. Still don't have a way to win, so we're just going to get another Negate. Play Scepter. Opponent has Pact of Negation. Okay. We'll let that go. Opponent time walking themselves. We still got 2 counters in hand. And we could actually Muddle for another Scepter if we needed to. Ooh, opponent. Alright. Well, we get rid of the Lotus Bloom. Mirror Galvanizer would be nice for the beatdown plan. Golden Mirror. Well, let's attack with our Palladium Mirror. Our opponent's going to block. That's fine. That means that next turn we get to start attacking with our Parade of Mirror. Mirror of all colors. It could work. Backed up by 2 counters. Galvanizer would still speed things along. Alright, Golden Mirror. Well, attack with everything. Mirror beats. Pass the turn. We can't play the Golden Mirror. We gotta leave up our counters. Opponent left a card on top as well. Phyrexian Unlife. Yeah, I think we better negate that. That just buys our opponent so much time. Opponent passes. There's a Scepter. Attack with everything. Play a Golden Mirror representing lethal next turn. Oh, mirror beats. Mirror beats. Lotus Bloom exiled. Gonna be too slow to matter, hopefully. Oh, this is the least likely way for our deck to ever win a game. But it might be happening. Manamir beatdowns. Casts a Simian Spirit Guide. Okay, resolves. Well, attack with everything. Opponent drops to 1. Let's play Scepter. Scepter exiling Dramatic Reversal. We can... Do we just want to go infinite here? How do we get blown out? Let's wait one more turn. Let's just pass. Next turn, we have multiple options. The problem with going infinite there is if our opponent counters Dramatic Reversal, we could just lose. And you can still counter something from under a Scepter. If we wait till next turn, we can leave up this Muddle as protection. And our opponent scoops it up! They know we have infinite mana, so what we could have done there is muddled for our card draw. We would have drawn our entire deck with our train of thought. So you muddle for that, draw essentially our whole deck. In that would be our Mirror Turbine, which lets us make an infinite number of mirrors because it keeps untapping. We have an infinite number of mirrors, also have a counter or 2 left over in hand, and we win the game. Wow! Well, we got the Mirror Beatdown hand. Couple counters. So let's keep. Watery Grave. Tapped. That's not too scary of a start. So tap land, go. Next turn, we can start playing Manamir. Island for our opponent. And there's a Prism. Sure. Well, land and Iron Mirror. Pass turn. Urborg for our opponent. Opponent passes. Well, Hallowed Fountain, untapped. Play a Copper Mirror. Pass turn. Mystical Teachings. That can't be good for us, though. Opponent gets an Angel's Grace. They're down to 4 mana, though. There's a tap land. Back up to 5 mana. Opponent passes. We get another Galvanizer. 1, 2, 3. Let's play Mirror Galvanizer. So we could get the Galvanizer combo. Question's going to be, do we live long enough? And I'm not confident the answer is yes. Tap land. If they have counter backup for their combo, we're in trouble. There's Angel's Grace. Is their hand Angel's Grace, Ad Nauseum, Simian Spirit Guide, and a counter spell? A Pact of Negation? Well, if they have all 4 of those cards, there's nothing we can do. Angel's Grace resolves. Well, let's see. Do you have Pact of Negation? Cast Muddle. If you got the Pact, we scoop them up. If not, we're still in business. And opponent has the Pact. All right. Well, our opponent had the 4-card combo. Not anything we can do about that. We took a game off Ad Nauseum, and we were very close to actually winning this one as well. But our opponent had the exact 4 cards they needed. Oh, well, a game win's still a game win. All right, against the odds time. Looking to go Mirror Infinite in Modern. And, I think we got to ship this one. Just not enough lands. Technically, we can make infinite mana if we just find a Dramatic Reversal with what we have in our hand. I don't think we want mirror number 4 here. So Island, go. Plains for our opponent. And, oh god, Seer Ascendant. Well, Inventor's Fair and Silvermere. Pass the turn. Water Hawk for our opponent. If our opponent attacks with Seer Ascendant, we will 100% block. We will snap block. Because if that thing becomes a 6/6, I don't know how we win. Alright, there's the attack. We will trade. Feels bad, but we gotta do it. Silvermere, Flooded Strand. Pass turn. Ghost Quarter for our opponent. Gets in with the Squadron Hawk. Down to 19. And another Seer Ascendant. Well, crack Flooded Strand. Hallowed Fountain, tapped. There's a Muddle. Well, let's muddle the mixture. This is interesting. Get Dramatic Reversal, play an Island, play a Golden Mirror, pass the turn. Opponent can tech edge us if they want to. Martyr of Sands, well, this is going to speed up the clock. Sacks everything, up to 39 life, has a million white cards in hand. Opponent gets in, we take it, down to 11. Oh, no. Oh, that's not great. Well, play Scepter, exile Dramatic Reversal, attack with our Mirror, pass turn. So we can tap and untap our Mirror an infinite number of times, but that doesn't help us actually win the game. Down to 4. Tech Edge on Adventure's Fair. Plays in Emiria. We draw an Iron Mirror, which would have given us infinite mana, but not relevant here. Let's try the silences in this matchup. Go down Mirror Turbine, a couple of random Mirror, maybe bring in a Dismember to kill something, go down a Galvanizer, and try it like that. Alright, this hand's really slow if our opponent just plays a Seer Ascendant, makes it huge. Well, Flooded Strand, pass turn. Plains for our opponent. Ooh, no Seer Ascendant's good. Crack this, grab a Hallowed Fountain, tapped. There's Blue Sun Zenith. Well, play Hallowed Fountain, tapped. Pass the turn, Plains for our opponent. And there's Seer Ascendant on turn 2. Well, Flooded Strand, so many lands. Crack Flooded Strand, get an island, play Mirror Galvanizer, pass the turn. So our opponent have the combo, Tech Edge. Ghostly Prison isn't super scary here. There's Reversal. Oh, play Glacial Fortress, pass the turn. Ghost Quarter for our opponent. And another Ghostly Prison. Still not scared. Ooh, Muddle. Play Mirror Turbine. Well, we might as well attack with that. Oh, no. Never mind. Ghostly Prisons. Just kidding. Pass turn. Tap land for our opponent. And pass as well. Make a mirror. Gain a life. Play a Plains. We are so close. So let's play Palladium Mirror. Alright. I think we go infinite next turn. Uh-oh. Alright, opponent attack edges. That's fine. Not relevant. That does not stop us from infinite mirror tokens next turn. We 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I think we have exactly enough mana. So we make a mirror, or we just draw Scepter. That makes it even easier. So, oh, we did it! Scepter, exiling, dramatic reversal. So we can't go infinite with mana. Now I think we just pass the turn. Yeah, we pass the turn and we win on our next turn. Opponent has Day of Judgment, so we 1, 2, muddle the mixture Day of Judgment. Now we tap this, make a token, use the mana, untap everything, cast Dramatic Reversal. Tap this, make a token. So we have infinite mirror tokens. We do need to be able to beat our opponent's stuff, but I think that's fine because what's going to happen is we are going to be able to search out an infinite number of mirror from our deck, which means we can search out infinite mana and then we just win with Blue Sun Zenith. So I don't even think we have to keep going. We just do this, search out another Palladium Mirror, then we untap, tap all of our mana, and then cast this. It's going to take a minute, but we got it. So infinite mana, untaps our mirror, tap our mirror, untap our mirror. So we're netting 2 mana every time we go through this process. Infinite mana, infinite mirror. We can also tutor up every mirror from our library. And then after we get enough mana, we will just force our opponent to draw their entire deck and die to milling. And we're actually gaining mana at a reasonable clip here. We're all the way up to 8. I mean, we have a ways to go. Our opponent's not scooping. I guess they're just hoping for the misclick. But I think we're good. Mirror Infinite. And we even have the Blue Sun Zenith, a late edition in hand. Dramatic Reversal, up to 48 mana. We gotta do this like 3 more times, I think. Up to 50 mana. Alright, so now we tap, tap, tap. Target our opponent. Blue Sun Zenith, pay all our mana, and mill our opponent completely out in one big infinite mirror shot. Oh, we did it! We did it! I didn't know if it was going to happen, but we truly went Mirror Infinite. This isn't the beatdown plan or anything like that. Opponent draws their entire deck, loses to drawing on an empty library. Whoo! We got there with the infinite mirror, infinite mana, infinite tutors, infinite everything. Whoo! Yes! Oh my god. Well, let's see if we can do that again, because that was awesome. I think we got a mulligan. Alright, we got the combo hand. Silver Mirror to the bottom for now. Tap land for our opponent. Hallowed Fountain, tapped. Pass the turn. Hopefully, Padim will get us to draw some extra cards. Flagstones for our opponent. And we do not have good... Oh, no. Oh, there's the combo. Well, this is going to be a challenge. Let's play Gold Mirror. Now our hope is our opponent just doesn't have enough white cards. Seems kind of unlikely. Up to 29. Well, we will definitely block if our opponent attacks. Oh! Are you kidding me? That isn't right. That's definitely not right. So opponent... okay. Well, I guess that's how that works. Now we definitely lose. I mean, it didn't really affect the outcome of the game. We're going to lose to Seer Ascendant, but apparently it gets its +5/+5 before it goes to the graveyard. Good to know. Good to know. Never been in that exact situation before. And we were going to lose to it anyway. We just don't have enough answers. Well, we got the Scepter's Islands, but it doesn't even really save us because we're just dead to our opponent's board. So sweet combo, but a bit slow. Well, we went Mirror Infinite in game 2, and that's the most important thing. But we're definitely losing here. Opponent tech edges our land. Gets in. Well, yep, scoop time. Oh, boy. Well, we got the infinite win in one game, and that's the most important thing. All right, against the odds time, Myrfinity, Infinite Mirror in Modern. I guess we'll try this. Hallowed Fountain, go. Opponent probes. Gets a look at our mirror and scepters. Plays an island and turn visions. So let's play an island. Play a copper mirror. Pass turn. Ooh, what is happening? Eldrazi Temple? Something crazy is happening. Well, play a land, play Palladium Mirror, and I think we're going to attack with this Copper Mirror. If our opponent wants to trade with a Delver, that is alright with us. Opponent takes it. Alright, pass turn. Delver of Secrets flips with a Remand. Alright, opponent gets in with Delver, down to 17, and passes. Well, let's play a Plains, play Mirror Galvanizer, resolves. Well, let's do some attacking. Attack 4/5, Mirror beats. Not anywhere near infinite, but the beatdown plan kind of working. Vapor Snags, Palladium Mirror. Alright, opponent takes 2. Pass turn. Would be sweet to draw something to go with this Scepter. Opponent gets in. 4/3. Down to 13. We draw a Golden Mirror. Well, let's play Palladium Mirror. See what our opponent does. There's the Remand. Well, play Golden Mirror. Play tap land, and get in 4/2. I don't know if we can win this race or not. I guess it depends on... I'm assuming our opponent must have like Thought-Knot Seers and stuff, which would be pretty bad for us. But we're 1 life point away from a 4-turn clock, so that's the good news. Although Vapor Snag can change that. Opponent gets in. Serum Visions. Bottoms both. Alright. Could also just draw something that goes with our Scepter. Opponent exiles Relic to draw a card, and passes, and has to discard to hand size. Alright. Well... attack with everything. Put our opponent down to 7. Play Palladium Mirror. Play an Iron Mirror. Mirror beats with the Mirror Lord. Mirror of all varieties. Oh, they might get the job done. What happens if our opponent bounces? Is still... oh, they scoop it up! Oh, yes! Nowhere near going infinite, but we got there. I have no idea what we're up against. That Eldrazi Temple is throwing me way, way off. I guess we might want the Dismember. So let's just go down a Copper Mirror and an Iron Mirror and try it like that. Alright, we got Mirror. And a Mirror Turbine even, which could be sweet if we get to it. Nothing to go with our Scepter again. Yavimaya Coast. Oh, I am so confused. So maybe this is like Bant Eldrazi, but it has Delver? I do not know. There's a Ghost Quarter. Alright, well, Glacial Fortress and Mirror number 1. Let's play Golden Mirror. Pass the turn. Island for our opponent. And passes. Play Palladium Mirror. There's the Remand. Alright, pass the turn. Yeah, I would have liked to have been able to double 2-mana Mirror there, but wasn't meant to be. Opponent passes. Not a land. Well, let's try it again. See what happens. Palladium Mirror. Cryptic Command. Bounces a Mirror. Yeah, this lack of lands is not good for us. Discard a Mirror Turbine. Eldrazi Temple. And there's a Thought-Knot Seer. Takes the Muddle. Okay. Well, let's play an Iron Mirror. Hallowed Fountain tapped. Pass the turn. So he finally drew a land. Opponent's going to get in with Thought-Knot. So down to 16. Yep. Oh my god. Okay. I still have no idea what our opponent's deck is doing, but it's working here. Takes a Scepter. Well, play Golden Mirror. Play Silvermere. Play Hallowed Fountain tapped. Pass the turn. Problem is our opponent's clock is actually super fast now that they have double Thought Knot. Oh, yes. Well, that's probably the game. Opponent gets in with both Thought Knots. Yeah, we should probably just scoop here, I think. Yeah, we'll scoop it up. This hand would have been great, but our opponent drew a million counters and double Thought Knot. Yeah, I mean, let's run it back. So, Flooded Strand and pass turn. Island for our opponent. And there's the Delver. Oh, man. The jank is super strong with our opponent's deck. Super strong. Well, Island, and let's lead on Silvermere. Pass the turn. Does our opponent get the blind flip? Of course they do. That's how Delver works. Should have just been printed as a 3-2 with flying. At least when my opponent plays it. Gitaxian Probe, down to 18. Sees our hand. Opponent gets in with the Delver. Well, land, Silvermere, and Golden Mirror. Pass the turn. Another probe for our opponent, down to 16. Gets to look at our hand again. Plays another island. Gets in with Delver. Down to 13. Well, let's Mirror Galvanizer. And then get in with our Silvermere. Alright. I think we gotta let it go. We get Vapor Snagged. Pass the turn. Opponent's down to 15. Problem is we know they have Hurkyl's Recall, so we gotta play to make sure we counter Hurkyl's Recall. Unfortunately, our opponent's gonna win just by blind flipping a Delver. It's like the only good thing they've done this game. And it's looking like it might be enough to win. Dispel is interesting. Now let's play Mirror Galvanizer. Opponent tries to remand. So let's muddle the remand. Pass the turn. This is going to be a very close race. There's the recall. So dispel the recall. Opponent gets in. We drop to 6. But we get the big attack back at our opponent. So attack with everything. Hallowed Fountain. Untapped. Pass the turn. Well, this is the game, boys and girls. This is the game. Opponent probes to 5. Okay. Are we really going to beat the turn 1 flip Delver? Opponent gets in with Delver. Down to 1. Can they beat the mirror? The mirror beats? No infinite mirror here, but are we going to get the beatdown match win? And our opponent scoops it up! Mirror taking down a really unique build of Delver, but taking down Delver. Whoa! So we didn't go infinite, but just the mirror beatdown with a couple of muddles was enough to get the job done. Sweet! Alright, against the odds time, looking to go infinite with mirror or just beatdown in Modern combo hand. So we're a little short on mirror, but we have Dramatic Reversal, Muddle to get Dramatic Reversal, and Mirror Turbine to make infinite mirror. Utopia Sprawl for our opponent. Oh boy. Ramping. Well, Flooded Strand, goo. There's a Gold Mirror, which is good. Well, let's crack Flooded Strand, get a island. There's the Scepter. Well, play island, play Gold Mirror, pass turn. So we're like a mirror away from going infinite. Kessig Wolf Run and Stone Rain. Oh, that's what's happening. Well, Hallowed Fountain, untapped. Let's pass. Transmute Muddle. Get a Silvermere. Pass the turn. Goblin Dark Dwellers to Flashback Stone Rain. Well, we need to draw lands. This could end up being a bit slow. Alright, there's a land. So Silvermere, Inventor's Fair. Pass the turn. Super, super close. Molten Rain takes down Inventor's Fair. Opponent gets in with Dark Dwellers. There's a land. We'll play the land. Play Isochron Scepter with Dramatic Reversal. Pass the turn. We are so close. Our opponent might have destroyed just enough lands. Oh, God. Another Dark Dweller. I think that does it. Well, crack Flooded Strand. Get an island. Untap our stuff. So we can go infinite, but it doesn't really matter. We draw Glacial Fortress. Yeah, that does it. Just enough lands destroyed. Well, this seems like a good silence matchup. Go down a Mirror Turbine, go down a Train of Thought, and a couple of Galvanizers. And we'll bring in, let's go down all the Galvanizers and bring in the 2 negates too. And try it like that. Alright, we get to play first. I think we got a mulligan, just not enough lands. Oh dear. This is probably worse. Well, that's not the 5-card hand we wanted, but try it. I think we keep silence, play Glacial Fortress, go. Because we might be able to muddle for Scepter. There's an Arbor Elf. Well, Flooded Strand, crack Flooded Strand, get an island, play Silvermere, pass the turn. We really need there to be no land destruction this turn. Alright, looks like we're going to dodge land destruction. Utopia Sprawl on the Cinderglade. Opponent passes. Well, play Palladium Mirror, pass the turn. We're close to getting the lock set up. Wooded Foothills for our opponent, cracks it. If they have Inferno Titan, then we scoop. Okay, well, that was fun. Yeah, I mean, the land destruction deck, when it runs good, it can play turn 3 Inferno Titan. And we don't really have an answer for that. Alright, against the odds time. Trying to go infinite with Mirror in Modern. And we got Mirror, and even a Mirror Turbine, so this is pretty reasonable. So Glacial Fortress, go. See what our opponent's up to. Plains and Soul Warden. Alright, looks like Soul Sisters. So let's Silvermere. Pass turn. Squadron Hawk for our opponent. Gets to search out a handful of hawks. Opponent passes. Well, play an island, play Iron Mirror, play Golden Mirror. Pass turn. We have a Rainbow of Mirror. Opponent gets in 4-1. There's a Martyr of Sands. Tap land. More dramatic reversals. Well, let's dramatic reversal. Untap our Mirror. Play a Mirror Turbine. And pass turn. Because we want to get to the point where we're tutoring up Mirror. And doing it this way gives us a chance to do that. Also, might be able to trick our opponent into a bad attack. Opponent gets in with Squadron Hawk. Alright, down to 18. Plays a Squadron Hawk. So we might just get the 2 combo Mirror galvanizers and go infinite that way. That could work. Alright, so let's make a Mirror and untap. We draw a land. So play Hallowed Fountain tapped. Pass the turn. Alright, cracks Martyr. Alright, a Johnny's Pridemate for our opponent. Spectral Procession, double Squadron Hawk, Martyr of Sands. So there's Pridemate, starts growing. There's another Martyr of Sands. Keeps growing the Pridemate. Opponent gets in for 2. Well, let's make a Mirror. And let's just untap another Turbine. Well, play Mirror Turbine. And pass turn. Now we're going to be able to get to do some serious Mirror tutoring, even though we can't quite go infinite yet. Opponent does some attacking. Well, block Pridemate, make a Mirror, make a Mirror. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then let's dramatic reversal. And now we'll let that go. We do get to start Mirror tutoring. Another Squadron Hawk for our opponent. I think we get the Mirror that let us go infinite first. So let's make a Mirror, tap 5 Mirror, get a Galvanizer, and just untap. We draw a land, so play Flooded Strand. Well, let's go on the big attack. Actually, no. Let's just pass one more time. Pass the turn. We just need to search out as many things as possible, I think. Opponent's going to path, so we tap 5 Mirror, search out a Mirror. Another Galvanizer. Then we pay 1, untap our other Mirror. Path resolves. Get another land out of our deck. Oh, we are so close. We'll have infinite mana next turn. We just need something to do with it. Scepter, muddle for Scepter. That lets us go truly infinite. Honor of the Peer pumps up our opponent's dorks. That does speed up the clock a bit. Opponent gets in with the Flyers and Martyr of Sands. Well, let's block and block. And then tap our Mirror. Opponent Zach's Martyr pumps up the Pridemate. We get another Galvanizer. 3, 6, 9, 12. Now, I guess the question is, do we give up on the combo? Because we could just untap everything, so we could hit our opponent for like 40, but that's not enough. Otherwise, I guess we can wait one more turn. We're going to be dropping to 1 if we crack this Flooded Strand, which I guess we might as well do. So crack this. I guess we wait, just because we could draw something that lets us go truly infinite. Or another Mirror Turbine. Mirror Turbine, number 3. Do a bit of attacking. And pass turn. I don't know if we can win from here, though. Unless we just top deck one of our cards that lets us go infinite. Opponent Goes to combat. Swings with the flyers. We drop to 1. Yep. Opponent's at 49. Plays a land. There's Spectral Procession. So we probably can't win without drawing a card that lets us go infinite. We need a muddle card draw. So let's see. Untap our mirrors. Search out a Galvanizer. Opponent gains life. Not really relevant. Untap our mirrors. Search out a Palladium Mirror. Untap our mirrors. Search out Palladium Mirror. Come on, big draw. It's a muddle! Oh, we got there. Whoa! Alright, so we transmute. Actually, we should be doing this with our mirror mana. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tap everything. Untap our mirrors. Tap everything. Untap our mirrors. Tap everything. Untap our mirrors. Then we will transmute. Get Train of Thought. Tap everything. So we need to do this until we can draw our entire deck with Train of Thought. And then that will draw us into our Blue Sun Zenith. And that will let us kill our opponent by making them draw their entire deck. So Mirror Infinite, we got there. We're only making 1 extra blue mana each loop, so this is going to take a minute, unless our opponent scoops. I can't believe this is working. This one is definitely against the odds, but we are going Mirror Infinite. That is for sure. And we can't stop short of our entire deck, because if we miss Blue Sun Zenith, we would lose. So we need to have 36 blue mana floating. The good news is, after we fire off this Train of Thought, we will be able to combo off really quickly, because we're making a ton of mana. We have a ton of mana floating. We're gaining, what, 6 mana each time we go through this loop? We have hundreds, about 200 mana floating altogether. 32, 34, 35, 36. So Train of Thought, replicate 35 times. Pay a bunch of mana. So this will draw us our entire deck. Train of Thought with replicate. So we draw our entire deck. Somewhere in all this drawing, we'll hit a Blue Sun Zenith. I guess we can just win with the Train of Thought triggers on the stack, actually, if we drew too much. Haven't found it yet. Muddle, Inventor's Fair, Islands. Do we draw it? There's Blue Sun Zenith. Alright, so now we go back to our combo. Untapping. Add blue mana. Blue Sun Zenith, our opponent. They have 44 cards. So we got to do X at least 45. I can't believe we drew it and went Mirror Infinite at the last possible second. Oh my god. Alright, X47 works. Target our opponent. They draw all their cards and then some. Oh, Mirror Infinite, just the way we drew it up. So janky, but so sweet when it works. Oh my lord. Our opponent had a kind of slow draw. I think we let's bring in Echoing Truce and Silences. Get a silence on a Isochron Scepter and not let our opponent ever cast spells. That would be sweet. Okay. We'll try this. We got a lot of good cards. We don't have any specific combo in hand, but seems like it could work. Opponent's going to 5. Whew! 4! Whoa! That's how you get a match win in Against Odds Land. You wait for that the mythical Multifor. Soul Warden for our opponent. Island, go. And we even have a Padeem for protection and life gain, or card draw. Planes for our opponent. And gets in, 4-1. Oh, Flooded Strand. There's a Muddle, too. Crack Flooded Strand. Get an Island. And Silvermere. We're actually really close to the Silence Lock. Ghost Quarter for our opponent. Passes. We draw land. We'll play a land. And let's just get Padeem down. Protect our stuff. Start drawing some cards. So good. We found a way to make Padeem good. And that makes the Silence Lock super hard. So I think we're just going to focus on that. Alright, opponent passed Padeem. That's fine, we get another land. We can't start the Silence Lock next turn, but 2 turns. Opponent gets in with Soul Warden. Down to 17. And passes. We draw land, that makes it easy. So 1, 2, 3. Let's transmute Muddle. Get a Scepter. And play Palladium here. Opponent goes up to 23. Pass turn. So we're just going to silence Scepter, I think. Unless we just draw Dramatic Reversal, then we go infinite with Mirror Turbine. Soul Attendant. Yup. That's fine. Our opponent might just scoop to the Scepter Lock. Turbine. So 1, 2. So let's just Isochron Scepter. And we will imprint. Silence. Stop on our opponent's upkeep. Time to make our opponent's life miserable. Oh, so Silence says opponents can't cast spells this turn. Scepter lets us play the card every turn over and over. So we will just start sceptering on our opponent's upkeep. So until our opponent gets rid of the Scepter, they really can't cast anything except instants, and they might not be able to cast anything at all. Nope. Nope, you can't cast spells this turn. Nice try. You can't beat the Silence. Scoop? Is it scoop time? No scooping yet. Play a Mirror Turbine. Pass turn. On our opponent's upkeep, we will cast a Silence, I think. Oh, so miserable. Oh, I almost feel bad. I don't, but I almost do. Opponent passes. Well, we will make a mirror. Opponent is gaining a bunch of life. Not casting much, though, for some reason. What's up with that? Let me draw a Flooded Strand. So play Flooded Strand. Play Mirror Turbine. Mirror Turbine's been so ridiculous this match. I guess we start attacking with our Mirror token, because why not? Opponent's all the way down to 25. Pass turn. Guess what, opponent? I bet you guessed it. We'll silence you. 3rd turn in a row. And we will do this every turn for the rest of the game. Oh, this makes me so happy. This is so good. Make some Mirror tokens. Untap. And let's just pass the turn. I think we're going to start tutoring out Mirror now to close out the game. But first, I think we'll silence. Our opponent has a plan? Oh, okay, they they cycle a Hallowed Moonlight. Oh, I should have made tokens. Okay. That does stop us from making tokens or tutoring with our Mirror Turbine. So, a bit of a punt there. Not that it really matters, because we have our opponent Silence locked. Alright. Gain a life. Play an island. Pass the turn. Try this again without the Hallowed Moonlight. And our opponent scoops it up! They've had enough of the Mirror Silence. Oh, that was so good. I mean, our opponent mauled a 4 in the last game that helped, but the first game they were full strength, and we still got the combo with that key draw. Wow! Well, that is as good as it's gonna get for Mirror Infinite. Silence locked, going infinite, every single sweet thing that could happen finally happened all at once. Wow! Oh my god. So what do we learn this week about Myrfinity in Modern? And the deck worked better than it had any right to. So overall, we played 5 matches. We won 2, so about 40% as far as winning matches. We did a little bit better as far as games. We had a ton of 3-game matches. We ended up winning 6 of 13 matches, so kind of between 40 and 50%. So not horrible. I was expecting this to be really, really bad, but I was mostly happy because we actually pulled off the combo. Like, it took us a while, and it wasn't all that easy, but the plan actually worked, being able to tutor up our combos, and we actually pulled off I think every single combo in our deck at one point or another, and we actually got a mere beatdown win or two where we just beat down with 1/1s for 2, and that somehow was good enough. So I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I was very surprised that we did any winning at all with this deck. I thought this was going to be pretty close to the bottom of the barrel as far as winning. I mean, we have, what, 21 Myr in our deck? 21 Myr! That's just not something that should be able to work in Modern. So I was very impressed with the combo of Dramatic Reversal and Isochron Scepter. It might be worth exploring in other avenues as well. So you can technically pull off that combo with anything that produces a bunch of mana. Maybe most obviously, if you can get something that just taps for 3 mana on itself, like Gilded Lotus, for example, that just taps for 3, that's all you need. You have an artifact that taps for 3, you can pay 2 to untap it, essentially, using your Dramatic Reversal on Scepter, untaps the Scepter, do it again. So there's other ways of going about making infinite mana using that combo, and I'm sure there's other combos as well. As I was building this deck, my initial goal was to have the infinite mana combo, since we have, I mean, all Myr really do is produce mana, so we might as well try to take advantage of the mana, plus the Myr Galvanizer infinite combo gonna be a part of the deck, so it just worked well to slot Dramatic Reversal in as another infinite mana combo. But there's other ways of going about that, and I'm sure there's other combos. Like, as I was building the deck, I stumbled across the fact that Myr Turbine actually lets us go infinite, like a really janky Squirrel's Nest type combo where we can just make infinite Myr, and then we actually get to tutor all the Myr out of our deck as well. So I'm sure if you really brew around the combo of Dramatic Reversal and Isochron Scepter, there's probably way more cool things you could do with it. Padim was actually very key. As I was building the deck, I was looking specifically for something to give our artifacts hexproof, to protect all our Myr from targeted removal, protect our Scepter, protect our Myr Turbine, and in the past, you had to go white for that effect. Almost always, I think every single one of those was white, unless you get something that protects all your permanents or whatever, but Padim gives you a way to do that with being mono blue, and this started off as mono blue until we added in the white for the silence combo, and the silence combo coming out of the sideboard was also pretty sweet. We didn't bring it in many matchups, but in matchups where the opponent can't really interact much at instant speed, if we cannot be behind on board when we pull that off, it's really, really solid and essentially just keeps our opponent from playing Magic, as we saw in the very last game of our match. So overall, I think we definitely went to Myrfinity and even beyond. We pulled off every single combo, and it was more competitive than it had any right to being. I thought this was going to be at the very low end of competitiveness for against the odds, and it ended up being about average, or maybe even slightly above average, depending on how you look at it, which is amazing considering how many gold, iron, silver, copper Myr we have in our deck and how janky our combos are. But anyway, that's been our Against the Odds for this week. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon.